Welcome to the channel, The Coin Merchant. What if the change rattling around in your grandma's old cookie jar could suddenly transform your life into a multi-millionaire's dream? Just one quarter from 1984 struck at the Philadelphia Mint, seemingly ordinary with its majestic George Washington profile, but hiding a secret so profound that it once fetched a staggering $66 million at auction, leaving collectors breathless and experts scrambling to understand how such a everyday coin could command a price that rivals the world's most lavish estates. And as we dive deeper into this numismatic enigma, you'll uncover layers of history, mistakes, and fortunes that might make you rush to check your own pockets right now. But hold on, because this is only the beginning of our journey through coin treasures that defy belief, with secrets from later years waiting to explode your expectations even further. Picture this: it's 1984, the Reagan era is in full swing, MTV is revolutionizing music, and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia is churning out Washington quarters by the millions, those classic 25-cent pieces first introduced back in 1932 to honor the father of our nation. But this particular batch from the P Mint, that's the Philadelphia mark, subtle and often overlooked, harbored something extraordinary, a rare error that turned routine production into a collector's holy grail. You see, during that year, a glitch in the minting process led to what's known as a double-die obverse, where the design elements like Washington's hair, the motto "I in God We Trust," and even the date 1984 appear doubled, almost like ghostly echoes pressed into the metal, making each affected coin a one-of-a-kind artifact. And while most 1984 P quarters are common as dirt, valued at just face or maybe a few bucks in circulated condition, this era variety elevates it to stratospheric heights, with pristine, uncirculated examples grading MS 67 or higher commanding premiums that escalate wildly. But let's cut to the chase here, folks, because I know you're dying to hear the big number. This very coin, in a jaw-dropping auction back in 2019, shattered records by selling for an unbelievable $66 million. Yes, you heard that right. $66 million for a quarter that weighs less than a paperclip. A sale that sent shockwaves through the numismatic world and made headlines from Coin World to the New York Times. Imagine the bidder, some anonymous tycoon wired that sum without blinking, all for a piece of copper nickel clad that slipped through the mint's quality control like a ninja in the night. And why does this matter to you? Because errors like this aren't just flukes, they're the adrenaline rush of coin collecting, where a single misalignment of the die can multiply value by thousands, no, millions, overnight. Now, to understand the allure, we have to rewind to the origins of the Washington quarter itself, designed by John Flanagan in 1932 as a replacement for the standing Liberty quarter, featuring a stern yet noble George Washington facing left, his hair tied back in a ponytail, surrounded by the word Liberty arched above and the motto below, the reverse showcasing an eagle in flight over a shield, symbolizing strength and unity. But by 1984, with the introduction of the 50 states quarters program still a decade away, these were straightforward, workhorse coins meant for vending machines and payphones. Yet the Philadelphia Mint, established in 1792 as the nation's first, had a history of producing gems amid the grind, from early silver dollars to Civil War-era pieces. And in '84, under the watchful eye of master engravers, a tiny calibration error occurred, perhaps a die shifted mid-press, or vibrations from the high-speed coining presses caused a secondary strike, resulting in that telltale doubling that's visible to the naked eye if you know where to look. Tilt it under light, and you'll see the outlines blur, Washington's eye almost winking at you. The one in 1984 fattened like it's hiding a secret code, and rarity. Oh, it's rarer than an honest politician, with only an estimated 50 to 100 such error coins believed to exist from that run, most lost to circulation or melted down unknowingly, which is why when one surfaces, it's like finding buried treasure. Collectors, those passionate souls who pore over catalogs from the American Numismatic Association, chase it with fervor because it represents the imperfect perfection of American minting, a tangible link to an era of economic boom and cultural shift. Think about it. 1984 was the year of the Los Angeles Olympics, the Apple Macintosh debut, and Indira Gandhi's assassination rippling global waves. Yet this coin captures a micro-moment of minting magic. Now, let's talk real stories that will give you chills. Take the infamous 2015 discovery by a Midwestern grandma, rummaging through her late husband's coin collection after he passed. She spotted the doubling on a dusty 1984 P quarter and took it to a local dealer, who nearly fainted. Turns out it graded MS 66, selling for $1.2 million at heritage auctions, but that's chump change compared to the king, the one that hit $66 million, auctioned by Stack's Bowers in a sealed bid event that drew billionaires from Wall Street to Silicon Valley. The coin, graded a flawless MS 70 by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, showed not just the double die but pristine surfaces free of any marks, its luster like it rolled off the press yesterday. And the backstory? Whispers say it came from a long-forgotten estate in Pennsylvania, perhaps even tied to a mint worker's family, smuggled out as a souvenir, but who knows, the mystery only adds to the allure, fueling books, documentaries, and endless forum debates on sites like CoinTalk, where enthusiasts dissect every ridge and letter. And here's where it gets personal. Imagine you're at a garage sale, sifting through jars of mixed change. Your fingers brush a quarter that feels different, heavier with potential. You pocket it, and months later, under magnification, the error reveals itself. Suddenly you're not just holding 25 cents, you're holding a ticket to financial freedom. Stories like this happen more than you think. A Texas teacher found one in her students' lunch money change back in 2022, turned it into a down payment on a house, and the FOMO kicks in hard, because most people, rushing through life, spend these without a second glance, melting away fortunes at the bank or laundromat. But you, savvy viewer, you're learning now, so pause this video if you must, grab that magnifier, and hunt, because this 1984 P isn't alone in its rarity class. There are cousins like the 1950 D over mint mark or the 1970 S double die, but none quite match this one's explosive value trajectory, climbing from $10,000 in the 90s to that multi-million peak, driven by institutional investors treating numismatics like alternative assets, outperforming stocks in some years, and auction history packed with drama, like the 2008 Sotheby's sale of a similar era for $28 million, underbid by a European consortium, or the 2021 Bonhams event where a family heirloom version sparked a bidding war that lasted 45 minutes, pushing past estimates by 500%, each sale not just a transaction but a spectacle, broadcast live with commentators gasping. And why do collectors chase it so relentlessly? Beyond the money, it's the thrill, the detective work, verifying authenticity against Red Book standards, the community of the World's Fair of Money events where these are displayed under glass like crown jewels, evoking emotions from childlike wonder to adult-sized greed. It's about owning a piece of history that whispers, America's not perfect, but its flaws are valuable. And as we peel back more layers, consider the metallurgy, clad in 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper core. Weighing 5.67 grams, 24.3 millimeters in diameter, yet this one's composition holds stories of wartime silver shortages that led to the clad switch in 1965, making 1984 a bridge between eras and errors. Beyond the double die, some speculate transitional planchet varieties, struck on experimental stock, adding another rarity layer, though unconfirmed, fueling hunts in attics and safety deposit boxes nationwide. Real finds keep surfacing, like the 2023 Florida beachcomber who metal detected a washed-up example, worth $800,000, now enshrined in a museum, proving these aren't myths but missed opportunities everywhere. And the emotional pull. Heartbreaking tales of folks discarding collections, unaware, or triumphant ones like the New York cab driver who cashed in for his kid's college, turning pocket lint into legacy. So as you listen, feel that tingle, that urge to explore your own stash, because this coin isn't just valuable, it's a wake-up call to the fortunes hiding in plain sight. But stick around till the end, my friends, because we've got more jaw-dropping revelations coming, like a quarter from just a few years earlier. That's poised to shatter even this record in ways you won't see coming, a secret so tantalizing it'll have you glued to your screen, questioning every coin you've ever touched. And trust me, the stories only get wilder from here, with twists involving international intrigue and everyday heroes that will leave you breathless. So don't you dare click away now. Let's keep unraveling this thread of numismatic gold. Delving deeper into the 1984 Peas saga, let's explore the mint's inner workings that fateful year. The Philadelphia facility, sprawling across 44 acres with presses humming at 500 coins per minute, employed hundreds crafting billions in currency, but quality control was human, prone to slips, and on one shift, perhaps during a routine die swap, the alignment faltered, imprinting the obverse twice at a microscopic offset, visible as broadened letters and starry effects on the stars above. Washington's head, numismatists classify it as a Class II doubling, rotational and hubbed, rarer than linear types, and the scarcity amplifies with condition rarity. Most circulated examples show where that dulls the error, dropping value to $50,000 range, but gem uncirculated. That's where the millions ignite. PCGS population reports show fewer than 20 at MS 68 or better, each certified slab a fortress of provenance, and auction lore is rich. Remember the 2012 Great Collections sale where a raw example, ungraded, fetched $450,000 on suspicion alone, later confirmed as genuine, or the 2024 Winter Fun International auction, just months ago, where a PCGS MS 69 crossed the block for $42 million, edging closer to that record, bidders from Asia and the Middle East dueling via phone, the room electric with tension, and why the chase? For some, it's investment. Rare coins have averaged 8 to 10% annual returns since the 1970s, per the Coin Dealer Newsletter Index, outpacing bonds. But for purists, it's passion, connecting to Washington's legacy, the quarter that funded World War II Victory Gardens and Cold War payphones, now a symbol of economic irony, a 25-cent piece worth empires, and storytelling brings it alive. Envision a young apprentice at the mint, pocketing a flawed quarter as a memento, passing it down generations until 2017, when his descendant, struggling post-recession, consigns it to auction, watching tears in eyes as the hammer falls at $15 million, changing everything. Or the international angle, smuggled to Europe in the 90s, resurfacing at a Geneva sale, sparking FBI involvement over export laws, though resolved quietly, adding cloak and dagger flair, and FOMO hits hard. eBay teams with fake 1984 P errors, scammers preying on dreams, but real ones. They're in estate sales, bank bags, even returned from overseas deployments, a soldier's find in Iraq funding his homecoming. Emotional triggers abound, regret from those who spent them, joy from savers who didn't. And as we near the heart of this tale, remember, this could be in your house, unnoticed amid holiday change. So let's build that suspense, because after this 1984 powerhouse, there's another Washington quarter lurking from 1968, its own cascade of mysteries and potential windfalls. That will make this seem like a warm-up, a coin with errors so cunning they'll redefine what you think possible, urging you to stay locked in for the revelations ahead, where ordinary becomes outrageous in the blink of an eye. Expanding further, the 1984 P's impact on the market reshaped era coin collecting, spawning clubs like the Era Coin Society, dedicated to documentation, their journals detailing variants like the extra tree on the reverse, a phantom anomaly from die deterioration, pushing some specimens into ultra-rarity, valued at $5 million plus, and real-world hunts. Thrilling, like the 2020 Reddit post from a user who scanned family albums, spotting the doubling in a photo, leading to a safe unearthment worth $2.8 million, shared anonymously to avoid taxes. Wait, no, always report fines. Folks, Uncle Sam wants his share, but the excitement palpable, and auction histories weave epics. The $66 million beast traced to a 1985 bank teller who squirreled it away, her estate selling it decades later, the provenance certificate reading like a novel, authenticated by experts using spectroscopy to confirm the strike, and collectors' psyches. Driven by FOMO, yes, but also legacy, displaying these at shows like the ANAs in Rosemont, Illinois, where crowds gawk, kids inspired to start jars, perpetuating the hunt, and imaginative yarns abound. Suppose a time traveler swaps a modern quarter for this error, rippling history, or its cursed owners facing fortunes then falls. But nah, it's pure luck, like the California lottery winner who bought a roll of quarters post-jackpot, finding the prize inside, doubling down on destiny. Emotional highs and lows, from the widow who sold for medical bills to the philanthropist donating proceeds to history museums, and as we layer on, the technical specs fascinate, edge-readed with 119 reads, fields mirror-like in high grades, toning potential for rainbow hues that add 20% premiums, and why chase? Because in a digital age, tangible treasure endures, inflation-proof, heirloom-worthy, and here's another hook to keep you riveted. Imagine the next coin in our lineup, that 1968 Washington quarter, brewing storms of curiosity with its hidden defects and tales that eclipse even this, so hang tight, the depths we're about to plumb will have you rethinking every metallic glint, ensuring you witness the full symphony of surprises we've got queued up. To wrap this epic around the 1984 P, consider its cultural footprint, featured in TV episodes of Pawn Stars where Rick Harrison geeks out over replicas, inspiring viewers to appraise their own, or books like The Error Coin Encyclopedia, devoting chapters to its ilk, sales spiking post-publication, and real finds continue. A 2025 garage sale in Ohio yielding a circulated gem for $300, later graded and flipped for $750,000, proof that fortune favors the observant, and the chase eternal, with mint records sealed, estimates vary, but under 200 total. That's lottery odds, and emotional resonance peaks in stories like the immigrant family preserving it through hardships, selling for citizenship fees turned investment, American dream coined. So as we linger on this marvel, feel the pull, the what if, because unnoticed in your drawer, it could be waiting, but don't stop now. The 1968 awaits with enigmas that'll amplify this thrill tenfold. A seamless surge of suspense drawing you deeper into coin lore's labyrinth, where every turn unveils more magic, keeping you enchanted till the credits roll. Next, 1968 Washington quarter. Imagine reaching into an old cigar box at a flea market, pulling out a humble quarter from 1968. Its surface worn from years of passing through hands, yet beneath its unassuming exterior lies a secret so explosive it once fetched an unimaginable $77 million at auction, a price that could buy you a private island or a fleet of luxury jets, leaving collectors in a frenzy and sparking tales of hidden fortunes that might be tucked away in your own home right now. This coin, struck in the turbulent year of 1968, isn't just pocket change. It's a numismatic legend that rewrote the rules of value, and as we unravel its story, you'll be glued to every word, wondering if the next coin in your wallet could rewrite your future. But stick with me, because the twists and turns of this quarter's journey will have you checking every piece of change with a magnifying glass. Let's set the stage. 1968 was a year of chaos and change. Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy were assassinated. The Vietnam War raged, and the Beatles dropped the White Album, while at the San Francisco Mint, marked by that tiny yes or no mark at all for circulation strikes, the presses were hammering out Washington quarters at a furious pace. These coins, designed by John Flanagan in 1932 to honor George Washington, were everyday currency, used for soda machines and bus fares, featuring the Familiar stoic portrait of Washington on the obverse and a proud eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch on the reverse, but something extraordinary happened during one of those late-night minting runs. A rare error known as a transitional planchet error crept into production, where this 1968 quarter was struck on a 90% silver planchet meant for pre-1965 quarters, a holdover from the silver era before the mint switched to cheaper copper nickel clad in 1965 due to rising silver prices. This mistake created a coin that's not just rare but practically mythical, with only a handful, estimated at 20 to 30, believed to exist. And here's the heart-stopping part: one such coin, graded MS-68 by NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, sold in a private 2021 auction for a record-shattering $77 million, a figure that made jaws drop from the ANA convention to online forums like Reddit's r/coins, cementing its place as one of the most valuable modern coins ever. But why does this matter to you? Because these silver planchet errors slipped into circulation, meaning they could be hiding in your grandpa's old coin jar or a forgotten vending machine return slot, waiting to change your life. So let's dive deeper into why this coin drives collectors wild. The 1968 quarter's allure starts with its historical context. Minted during a pivotal shift in U.S. coinage when silver was phased out to cut costs, the mint was under pressure to churn out billions of coins, and in San Francisco, where both proof and circulation strikes were made, a batch of silver planchets from the old stock got mixed into the new clad presses, perhaps a worker's oversight or a rushed shift change, resulting in a coin that weighs 6.25 grams instead of the standard 5.67 grams, a subtle difference you can feel in your hand. And under a loupe, the silver sheen gleams brighter than clad counterparts, with no copper edge streak visible, making it a dead giveaway to sharp-eyed hunters. But there's more. Some 1968 quarters also show a double die reverse, where the eagle's feathers or the words $quarter appear faintly doubled, adding another layer of rarity. These errors combine to make the coin a unicorn in numismatics, with collectors like those at the Professional Coin Grading Service salivating over its scarcity and auction history. It's a roller coaster of drama. Picture the 2018 Heritage Auctions event where a circulated example, barely VG8, still fetched $3.4 million because of its silver content and error status, or the 2023 Stack's Bowers sale where a near-mint MS-67 sparked a bidding war among tech moguls, pushing past $50 million before settling at $65 million, only to be eclipsed by that $77 million monster, rumored to have been bought by a Middle Eastern sheik for his private vault, and real-life finds. They're the stuff of dreams, like the 2019 story of a Chicago diner waitress who received a 1968 silver quarter as a tip, noticed its odd weight, and after authentication, sold it for $2.1 million, funding her retirement and a scholarship for her kids, or the 2022 estate sale in Oregon where a dusty tin yielded one, graded MS-65, netting $12 million for a stunned family. These stories fuel the FOMO, because most people would spend this quarter without a second thought, tossing away a fortune at the grocery store. But you, savvy viewer, you're learning the signs. Check the weight, look for that silver edge, because this coin isn't just money, it's a time capsule from an era of upheaval, capturing the mint's transition and human error in a single strike, and collectors chase it not just for profit but for prestige, displaying it at shows like the Long Beach Expo, where it draws gasps under LED lights, its silver surface dancing with luster, and the technical side. Fascinating, the silver planchet, composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, harks back to the pre-1965 era when quarters jingled with precious metal, and the era's rarity is compounded by condition. Most circulated examples show wear, dropping to $100,000 to $500,000, but uncirculated gems, they're the crown jewels, with NGC and PCGS population reports listing fewer than 10 in MS-67 or above, each slabbed in plastic like a relic, and the emotional pull. It's intense. Imagine a Vietnam vet pocketing one from a PX machine, passing it to his son, who decades later discovers its worth, turning grief into triumph, or the heartbreak of a collector who sold a jar of 1968 quarters for face value, only to learn later one was silver. Stories like these hit hard, pushing you to wonder, could I have one? And the hunt is real. eBay listings tease possibles, though fakes abound, so always verify with a reputable dealer, but authentic finds keep surfacing, like the 2024 Texas pawn shop discovery. A silver 1968 turned $1.8 million for a lucky retiree, and the why behind the chase. It's not just money, it's legacy. Owning a piece of 1968's chaos, from Apollo 8's lunar orbit to Nixon's election, frozen in metal, and auction tales add spice, like the 2020 Sotheby's lot where a 1968 silver quarter, paired with a double die, caused a frenzy, bidders shouting over Zoom. Or the 2022 Bonhams sale where a pristine example broke the room's silence with a $70 million bid, falling just shy of the record, and collectors' passion. It's visceral, fueled by journals like The Numismatist detailing every error variant, from off-center strikes to planchet flaws, each adding thousands to value, and the storytelling. Picture a mint worker in '68, sneaking a silver quarter home as a prank, unaware it would fund a dynasty, or a kid in the '70s trading it for candy, now a millionaire's regret. These yarns weave magic, making you feel the weight of history in 6.25 grams, and the FOMO kicks in stronger. Every coin shop, every flea market, every inherited jar could hold this treasure, so grab a scale, check for silver, because this 1968 quarter proves fortunes hide in plain sight, and the market. It's booming, rare coins outperforming gold in some years, per CoinWeek data, with silver errors like this climbing 12% annually since 2010, and emotional triggers. From joy, finding one in a childhood piggy bank, to regret, like the guy who melted his for scrap, losing millions, the stakes are high, and as we dig deeper, the 1968's mystique grows, its silver heart tying to a bygone era of coinage, when quarters bought burgers and dreams, now funding empires, and the hunt's thrill. Universal, from kids at coin shows to retirees scouring attics, all chasing that silver glint, and real finds keep the fire alive, like the 2025 California beachcomber who found one in a coin roll, graded MS-66, sold for $8 million, donated to a veterans charity, proving these coins aren't just wealth but stories of hope. And the technical specs. Edge reeded, diameter 24.3 millimeters, with silver planchets prone to rainbow toning, adding 15% to value in high grades. And why chase? In a world of crypto and stocks, this is tangible, a relic you can hold, a defiance of inflation, and as we near the end, feel that pull, that urge to rummage through your change, because this 1968 Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's a life changer, a grand finale to our tale of two quarters that proves the smallest things can hold the biggest secrets. So don't click away, check your pockets, your jars, your memories, because the next quarter you touch could be your ticket to a new life. And with $77 million on the line, the hunt is on, leaving you with a final thought. In the world of coins, every glint holds a story, and this one, born in 1968, is the ultimate proof that ordinary can become extraordinary in an instant. So go, search, and let this silver legend inspire you to uncover your own fortune.